You know she's waiting, just anticipating for things that she'll never, 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 never possess. Yeah, yeah.
Hide and Seek TV. I'm about to get ready to take y'all into a deep, deep level on this breakdown, and I'm about to be breaking down the whole aspect of everything that is about to come into fruition, y'all. And I really want y'all to really hear me out on this because it was actually a situation out there in Robeson County, out in Lumberton, North Carolina, where a man named I think his name is Dejuan Floyd had killed the lady named Julie Eberlin. And actually, it was like a roadway situation where I think he like cut her off and then he ended up, or she cut him off, or the husband, somebody cut him off and he ended up shooting him to death, right? But I'm gonna delve real deep into this because first off, I want to delve deep because she was a mother of 6 children. Pay attention to the number 6, y'all, and it's about to get deep because notice it was on like the South Interstate. And when you understand that whole aspect of South, remember I've been breaking all of this down, how the Messiah was from the southern kingdom of Judah. But notice how she's a mother of 6. Pay attention to that number, y'all. And it was in Lumberton, North Carolina. Now, as you know in scripture, as it's written, the Messiah is what? Is a carpenter. And what do you use wood for? You use wood to build. You get what I'm saying? Build the kingdom. Let's take this real deep, like Noah's Ark. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take this deep because when you understand his name, anyway, his name is Dejuan. All his name means anyway is God is gracious. You get what I'm saying? But it's a deep thing because all of these, I'm going to show y'all as I get deep into this, because she's from Pennsylvania. And what's so deep about that is that means nothing but the woods. You get what I'm going? And what's so deep about this is how, like I said, her name means Eberly. And all it is like the wild pig in the woodland clearing. And what's so deep about that is when you understand in scripture, as it's written in Second Esdras, as it's written, it said, "Behold, an horrible vision and an appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia should come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them should be carried as the wind upon earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians." But what's so deep about that, when you understand that the boar represents nothing but the coming judgment. Hence how I said her name is Julie Eberly. And all that means is the wild boar coming from the wood. You get what I'm saying? And how his name means nothing. And Julie, her name Julie too. Her name Julie don't mean nothing but soft hair. You know what I mean? Representing, like, you know, as the Messiah is already known to have like woolly hair. And how his name is Dejuan, I said his name means God is gracious. His last name is Floyd, which means gray hair. So all of this represents the Messiah coming. You get what I'm saying? And what's so deep about that I notice, which is crazy, is because when you pay attention to this, it literally make you think, because I was delving deep because it happened in Lumberton, North Carolina. And when you understand that area, you have the Lumber River, which is 133 miles long. And what's so deep about that, when you go into Psalms 133, as it is written, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." Pay attention how I said he represent the whole aspect, how it's in Lumberton and how he had shot her up. Because when you understand the car, which is so crazy, because when you understand the car, all the name car comes from is the name Kara, which means nothing but like the sacred bull of salvation representing the Most High, and then the cane of the Messiah, like of rulership. That's all the name mean. That's why I've been so many carjackings and all of, like, you know, that's why in America car accidents lead the nation in like in deaths. You get what I'm saying? Because all of this stuff is all coming into fruition. Like I did the Uber Eats car jacking situation. I'll put all of that stuff in my description below to check it out. But yeah, going back to all of this, which is so crazy because the Lumber River out there in Lumberton, North Carolina area is 133 miles long. And as it's written in Psalms 133, it is like precious ointment upon the head that run down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment. And when it's talking about the ointment, that's talking about nothing but the anointing. Hence why Aaron was the high priest who was what? The brother of Moses. But let's just keep this thing rolling, y'all. Because what I noticed too, which is so deep, how I was in Robeson County, North Carolina, all Robeson mean is the son of Robert, which means nothing but the bright shining star. And if we remember, in my Atlanta shooting, I had broke down how the killer out there who killed the Asians, his name was Robert Aaron Long, which means nothing but the bright shining star, aka Messiah. His middle name Aaron, meaning the high priest, which is the Messiah, the high priest, and long meant nothing but like eternity. You get where I'm going with this. But how this happened in Robeson, North Carolina, Robeson County in North Carolina, her husband name was Ryan, which don't mean nothing but the little king, aka the Messiah coming to full form. Pay attention to this, y'all, because notice how he has the same day he got arrested, it's the same day her funeral happened. Pay attention to that. That's a very symbolic thing. The same day he got arrested is the same day that she got her funeral, had her funeral. Pay attention to how he's wearing the Lakers, right? And as we already know, as it's written, the Messiah will come out the seas in second Esdras. You get what I'm saying? In second Esdras 13, the Messiah would come out the seas. You feel where I'm going with this? Let's just keep this thing rolling, because when you understand the Lakers, hint the aspect of the lakes, and the Messiah being what? He's the living waters. You get where I'm going with that? That's why the same day this happened, you had the Lakers versus the Bucks. You get where I'm going with this? This stuff is deep. And what happened in that game? Andre Drummond had a toe injury. He just joined the Lakers and he had a toe injury. And I think a game before that or a game after that, you had, no, it was the same game. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it was the same game. Wesley Matthews, he had a neck injury. And if you already know about the whole aspect of the Messiah, you remember when he went through the crucifixion, it happened in the land of Golgotha, aka the land of the skull. Hint how he had the neck injury. You get where I'm going? And you remember I said they played against the Bucks, which is nothing but the deer. And when you understand that, remember how I said how she was from Pennsylvania, Julie Eberly? And like I said, Pennsylvania don't mean nothing but the whole aspect of the woods. Means nothing but the Penn Woods. And what's so deep about that is, like I said about the neck injury and how they played the Bucks. If you remember the movie Get Out, you remember when they had the when Chris and Rose was driving up the highway. For those who remember the movie, remember they made a mistake and they thought they hit the deer, which represented his mother in the woods. You get what I'm saying? How the movie, all of the deer, when you understand the word deer in the Hebrew, the word deer don't mean nothing but holy land. That's all the word deer means. And I'm about to take it deep right quick, because see it right here? Deer means nothing but the glory of all the lands, the holy land, the land of Israel. And let's just take this deep right quick, because if you pay attention to this too, what is so deep is because remember I said Wesley Matthews had the neck injury. And when you understand that, that represents the head of the statue of Nebuchadnezzar in the scriptures of the Babylonian Empire. The head represents the Babylonian Empire, and then the feet, remember I said Andre Drummond, the other Laker player, had a toe injury, and that represents nothing but the whole aspect of the Holy Roman Empire, like the church aspect, the Catholic Church. You get where I'm going with this? This stuff is that deep. And notice LeBron right before that, a little while before that, I did that breakdown on what I called the video, Let's Talk About Atlanta. Remember LeBron had the leg injury. It was just like Kobe's, you know what I mean? Same time on the clock and everything. Both of them happened in Atlanta. But remember LeBron had the leg injury. When you know about the leg injury, that represents nothing but the Roman Empire. You get where I'm going? This is why out in Atlanta right now, they saying that they not doing the All-Star game out in Atlanta. They say they just moved the All-Star game from Atlanta due to like voter restriction laws. You get what I'm saying? And what's so deep about that, when you pay attention to them, talking about it's for like people who can't be at the polls, they won't be able to vote. It's like the absentee voting laws. They like trying to restrict them. And that's why Atlanta said they pulling. I mean, the baseball league said that they pulling out of having an All-Star game in Atlanta. You get what I'm saying? Because when you understand the baseball aspect, the baseball, when you know about it, the baseball, you have the bat and you have the ball, and the baseball is played on a pentagon shape. And when you know about the Baphomet is literally shaped just like the pentagon. You get what I'm saying? It's deep stuff, y'all. How the game of baseball is played. Because when you understand the game of baseball, which is so deep, the game of baseball, like I said, it represents nothing but the bat, and the bat represents nothing but the royal rod of the Messiah in rulership. You see what I'm saying? And when you understand it, what's so deep about that, going back to everything, when you know about the curveball, a curveball, when you throw a curveball in baseball, is designed so that the baseball player won't be able to hit the ball. This is why on the Metro PCS commercial, I'm going to show it a little later on, this is why they got the two bats as an X with the ball over it. Because they're trying to say that they Xing out the Messiah coming to take rulership over their kingdom. And notice the ball is like going in a curve where the bat can't hit it. You feel where I'm going? And then you see that the throne has the Babylonian lion on it, aka Mufasa. You get where I'm going? I'm about to take it deep tonight, y'all. Want y'all to bear with me. This video, I'm gonna chime on in. Notice that they're barbecuing, because when you understand the whole aspect of barbecuing, that represents anointing the golden calf as a god. You get what I'm saying? The royal calf, like them, like practically idolizing the golden calf. Let's keep it rolling.
Tex-Mex.
Pay attention to this, y'all. Notice this whole commercial is about termites, because termites, what do? They eat wood. And remember, I was just talking about the whole aspect out in Lumberton. You feel where I'm going? This is representing nothing but the Messiah, eating at their foundation, destroying their foundation. Let's keep it rolling. Destroying his kingdom. See that? You see what I'm saying? How their whole foundation fell apart. It gets deep, y'all. I'm about to take it deep tonight. Now, I'm about to go back to that whole aspect of the Metro PCS commercial right quick. Talking about the whole aspect of the bat and what it stands for. And remember, I already showed you the lion. Notice all the purple, because the purple represent them reaching God level. That's why he's on the throne. Let's keep it rolling.
Metro makes switching easy so you can rule.
You hear that? Metro make switching easy so you can rule. And notice how he's throwing up the illuminated hand sign towards his head. You feel where I'm going? Because all of that represents is him coming into the God level. That's why I said Metro makes it easy for you to switch so you can rule. Basically saying that you can come from being a servant of the Most High to becoming a God yourself.
Right now, there's 0 fees to switch. Plus, get 4 free Galaxy phones.
The 4 free Galaxy phones. You hit that whole aspect of the Galaxy, representing nothing but you reaching a high level, reaching a God state level. Hint the whole aspect of the throne. Let's keep it rolling.
With unlimited, for just $25 a line for 4 lines. And new and existing customers can score a free MLB TV subscription.
Remember, I was talking about the whole aspect of the bat representing nothing but the royal rod of the Messiah in the game of baseball, aka the Pentagon. Remember, I was saying that, and how the ball do the curve ball so that you can miss. You get where I'm going? So that you can miss. You feel me? Like, this stuff is that deep. They want the Messiah to be X'd out so that he can miss coming into full rulership and taking away their kingdom. Hint how Metro PCS run on T-Mobile towers. And when you understand the T aspect, as it's written, like I've been talking about the Lewis Stone, about that represents the stone of the Messiah, that the Freemasons reject to use to build the foundation of the world, because they rather be gods themselves. But like I was talking about the whole aspect of the T, pay attention to the number 8 right there, and pay attention to the T-Mobile. All that represents is like the whole aspect of the beheading, and like practically, remember I said the Messiah was crucified on the land of Golgotha. So that represents like the Messiah being taken away, aka beheaded, not literally beheaded, but beheaded like on a spiritual level of being not no longer the head of the foundation of the world. You get where I'm going? Hint why you got the T. You feel what I'm saying? This stuff is that deep. Hint one world language, one world order, everything becoming one in the system, in their system. Hint why Mr. T had all the gold and he had to beat, when Rocky had to beat him. What did they fight? They fought in Philly. If you know about scripture, you know about the Church of Philadelphia being the pure and clean church. Hint why that though? Because Mr. T had all the gold, because that represents him taking all of the wealth of the earth, being built up as a god. Look at the star of Moloch right above his belt right there. And notice all the gold. He got the crosses, everything. Because Rocky represent what? The rock, aka the Messiah. You get where I'm going? This stuff is that deep, y'all, for real. Notice why they're using all the purple and all the sound. This stuff goes that deep, y'all. And I'm actually gonna take it deep too, because notice another thing right quick. When you have Folger's coffee, you know what I mean? Notice how you have the how you use it to wake up in the morning. Notice why you have the pyramids and the sun, you know, the sunlight. You see where I'm going? You see the pyramids and the sunlight. You see that? And if you understand the whole aspect of the Illuminati pyramid and Satan disguising as an enemy of light, you get where I'm going? This stuff goes that deep, y'all. Hence why remember when I was talking about how Kal-El literally don't mean nothing but the Messiah, because you know the Most High and the Messiah, like the Kal-El, the royal bull, like the sacred bull, aka the Longhorns of salvation. Hence why King Neptune and SpongeBob were battling. Remember, he built the pyramid of burgers, and then SpongeBob just had the one burger. But notice how he built the pyramid out of the burgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff goes that deep. It's serious. And I'm gonna keep this thing rolling, because notice Uber pay, Uber, they have to pay the woman for $1.1 million after denying a passenger 14 rides because she was blind. Come on, y'all. Remember when I was talking about the whole aspect of the car? And you notice how when the Most High already said that people will be blind. Do you see this? The whole aspect of the car representing the Messiah manifesting. And notice how the whole aspect is the woman being blind, y'all. People who cannot see the truth. And what's so deep too is right now in the state of Montana, you have bisons, you have grizzly bears, and you have wolves who are undergoing cruel and dangerous situations right now. Remember I said the bison is nothing representing nothing but like the sacred bull, the bear representing nothing but the Messiah, aka, you know, nurturing aspect of Jerusalem, and then the wolf representing the Messiah being the lone wolf. Pay attention to why all this is going down in the mountain state. And when you understand the mountain, you know what I mean? That's them building up their pyramids. This stuff is serious, y'all. Hint the whole aspect of Biden right now. He's talking about putting the Amtrak throughout the South. Talking about putting it in Las Vegas, Nashville, and Phoenix. Adding a lot of new cities to the Amtrak. Because when you understand that whole thing, you remember I've been talking about the whole aspect of the train representing the train of salvation. You know what I mean? Everything is coming together, y'all. Hint while Baylor and Texas right now are playing each other. Baylor, and Gonzaga, I'm sorry. Gonzaga is what? The Bulldogs, and Baylor is the Bear. You feel where I'm going with this? And you see how Taraji Bulldog just died. Because when you understand the whole aspect of you remember I've been talking about that, like with Charlie Brown and Snoopy, how you have, remember Charlie Brown built the house with Snoopy because Snoopy was the dog. You know, dog backwards is God. So when you pay attention to a dog's role, it's a shepherd, it's a protector. That's why, you know, as it's written, The Most High said, build me a house so I can dwell in it forever. That's why Charlie Brown was building Snoopy's house. Hence why they just said Taraji's dog died because of surgery. Come on, y'all. And hence the whole aspect of Gonzaga being a bulldog going against the bear. You feel where I'm going? Like, this stuff is that deep, y'all. It's that deep. You have the 42-year-old arsonist burning up the Masonic lodges. He burnt up 3 Freemasonry lodges. Everything is coming into fruition, y'all. Come on, because when you understand that, the whole aspect of the arsonist setting fire to the Masons, everything is coming to fruition. Hence why Biden is talking about the infrastructure plan and everything. They trying to really build up this kingdom to try to prevent the Messiah from coming into fruition, y'all. Because they know the time is near. They know their time is up. And what I noticed too is, if you remember, you got the whole situation out with the Suez Canal being blocked out in the Red Seas, which is so deep, because remember I was talking about on Exodus, I think part 1 or part 2, when I was explaining how that whole aspect represents the cargo. Remember I've been talking about Kara with the Messiah, and then the whole aspect of cargo, and why the ship was blocking the canal. And what's so deep, when you understand that Mount Sinai is at 28 degrees coordinate. And then when you go, remember I've been talking about which was over during the time of Moses getting ready to, when Israel was getting, came out of was getting ready with the whole aspect of the Exodus. You feel where I'm going? And when you look at go 28 degrees coordinate and you go west of that, you end up in Orlando, Florida. And remember I've been talking about this. Remember that Orlando was the host of the NBA bubble with the NBA finals and the playoffs. And notice how it's Orange County, Florida, Orlando is. And when you go west of that too, what do you have? You have the Mexico, Baja California border. Come on, y'all. And you already know how the Mexicans right now, you remember the whole situation with the border control out in Texas. You feel where I'm going? How Kamala Harris is saying, yo, we ain't got to really, we need to get this situated. Because everybody, when you understand Texas, it's the Lone Star, Longhorn state. And when you understand that, that represents the Messiah aspect. The Lone Star being the bright shining star, and the Longhorn representing the bull of salvation. The Longhorns of salvation. Hint, like I said, that how when you go into the 28-degree aspect, when you look at that with Orlando, Florida, how it's Orange County, notice how you just had the Orange County shootings out in California. You get where I'm going? And what's so deep is the shooter's name is Aminadab. You get what I'm saying? Gonzalez. And notice he's 44 years old too. I'm going to get into this in a second. He's 44 years old and he killed 4 people. 444, y'all. This is some deep stuff. And Aminadab, this is why you know the Exodus is going down. Aminadab was nothing but the father-in-law of the high priest Aaron during the Exodus. Come on, y'all. And remember, I've been talking about the whole aspect of the 28 degrees of Mount Sinai, and go west, you end up in Orlando, Florida, and then you end up to 28 degrees, going north of that. Also, you end up in California. You already know women menstruals go through their menstrual for about 28 days. Hit the whole aspect of purification, aka the Exodus. You see where I'm going? This stuff is deep. And remember, you had the black man, they said out there in New York, they said that he beat a 65-year-old woman really bad and he damaged her pelvis. Let's keep this thing rolling. Damaged her pelvis. And when you look at the pelvis too, it looks like a face. But when you pay attention to it, it like connects the body. You get what I'm saying? With the legs and everything. And when you understand that, remember I've been talking about the whole aspect of the Nebuchadnezzar statue with the legs. Remember I was talking about LeBron James having a leg injury and everything? Let's keep this thing rolling, y'all, because it's that deep. Because remember I just said the legs represented nothing but what? The empire of Rome. You get where I'm going? Pay attention to why they said he damaged her legs, y'all. her pelvis. Come on, y'all. Remember, I was just talking about the legs represent nothing but the Roman Empire. You feel where I'm going? Let's keep this thing rolling. Because they said before that, he had stabbed his mother to death back in 2002. So it's been like 19 years since that happened. And he broke her pelvis, y'all, the Asian woman. And they said that she survived. And what's so deep, remember I was talking about Mount Sinai. That's why you know the Exodus is near. Because when you pay attention to it, notice the whole aspect of, like, when you look at Mount Sinai, the peninsula, the Sinai Peninsula, it looks like the human heart. You get where I'm going. Pay attention to that, y'all. Let's keep this thing rolling. This is why DMX had what? He had a heart attack. I remember they said he had no brain activity. Remember when I was talking about that with the whole aspect of Golgotha, meaning the land of the skull? This happened with DMX during the whole aspect right now of the Good Friday and Easter. You know, the crucifixion, resurrection. Pay attention to the heart attack because of the Mount Sinai. Exodus is near. You get where I'm going? Because what's so deep is the Sinai Peninsula is 120 miles long. Notice in Genesis 6:3, the Most High say, "My spirit would not contend with a human forever, because they are mortal, and their days will be 120 years." Hence, the whole aspect of the Suez Canal, which got blocked off, is literally what? 120 miles long, y'all. The Exodus that links between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. Everything is coming together. And you had a situation too. Remember, you just had that situation at the Capitol where a guy named Noah Green had killed Billy Evans. Now, what's so deep about that is the name Bill is short for William. And remember, I've been talking about how William literally don't mean nothing but the will of I am that I am, aka the Most High, in Exodus 3:14. Hence why his name was Noah Green, because Noah represents what? The new world. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Surviving the flood and coming into the new world post-flood. And hence the whole aspect of how we going through the infrastructure plan right now with Biden. We just had the big disease and everything that's shifting how everything is going into a new world order. And hence why Noah Green don't mean nothing but like vegetation, aka rejuvenating. And hence why he had to kill Billy, because Billy represent what? That he was a cop at Capitol Hill in DC, and that represents nothing but the Most High law. You get what I'm saying? On the top, being at the top of the hill. This is why he had to go through the whole aspect of killing him, man. Because Noah Green, what did they say? They said that he's Islam. You get what I'm saying? And that represents nothing but the Catholic Church and Islam coming together to rule and create a one world religion, one world order, y'all. And reign on top of the hills. There's no way around this stuff, man. There's no way around it. Go over this one more time about the whole aspect before I end this with the whole guy, the 42-year-old Ben Coleman, which is so deep, y'all. Coleman don't mean nothing but cabbage. And if you remember, notice how he was an arsonist and he burnt up 3 Freemason lodges. And when you go in Numbers 11, remember I said Coleman means cabbage. When you go in Numbers 11:5, as it's written during the time after the Exodus, remember Israel said, "Remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic, but now we have lost our appetite." What did the Most High do? He brought fire upon the people. Remember the Most High said that he let fire come from him and burnt the outskirts of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses and prayed to the Lord, and the fire died down. So we already know, because that's just written, so that place was called Taberah, because fire from the Lord had burnt among them. That's why all this stuff is happening, yo. The Exodus is literally about to unfold. You feel where I'm going? Everything is coming into fruition, y'all. That's why it happened where? In Wakefield. Come on, y'all. Wakefield. This stuff is that deep. But I'm actually going to end that right here. Much more is coming, y'all. And you see how they said actually, too, that they had a getaway vehicle. Remember, I've been talking about that right quick. I want to show y'all one last time about the whole aspect of the car, a.k.a. Kara, representing nothing but the Messiah. But I'm actually going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming. Peace.